Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today on All About the Philippines. Hope you're all doing well. And before we get going into this video, which is top scams in the Philippines, I'll be going through quite a few scams which are fairly common in the Philippines. So before we get into that, don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more videos as we upload every second day. What I want to do is preempt this video by saying that, look, whenever you go into a country you're not sure about or is not your own country, you need to use some common sense. You're going into a developing country where it's not, there are people there who are looking to make money, trying to get money any way they can. They don't have a social security system there where they can just go and get help as they need. As some countries, like I'm fortunate enough to live in, where you can do that. So wherever there's poverty, and quite a lot of poverty in a developing country, you're going to get people who are looking to make that money, looking to make get money any way they can, because they want to feed their family. So that's why when you go to a country such as the Philippines, there'll be various scams that target a foreign man. So, as I was saying, use your common sense. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. When you're away from home in a foreign country, always know what your surroundings are. Be very aware, always looking, watching what's going on, and don't get distracted or drop your guard because some pretty Filipino might be there talking to you. So it's not always what it seems. So we'll start off. The first scam that I've got on my list is the relationship scam. Now, that can be a long distance relationship scam which starts on the computer, which is a very common scam. You could be talking, and I've done videos on this before. You might want to check this video out here. But basically, you get on the computer, you're looking for a Filipina, and you're doing the whole talk thing through the internet, and the Filipina may not even be a Filipina. She may be somebody, a male or a female based in a country like Nigeria or wherever else in the world, and they might be pretending to be Filipina, and they're trying to get money out of you. Or they could be a Filipina in the Philippines, and they might be married, but they're not going to tell you they're married because they want to get your, they want to make you love them so they can get money out of you. So you start sending money across to them before you've even met them. Or you might even go there and meet them, and she could seem very nice. She could seem like genuine, but what you don't know is that she's married, and she's got 3 kids at home, and this is her way of being able to feed those kids. So you've got to be very careful. Anything on the internet, very, very careful. I'm not saying it doesn't work out. I mean, in my case, it worked out, but I was very, very careful about how I went about things, and made sure that my wife now, who at that time was my girlfriend, made sure she was genuine, and I did that by going and speaking to her family, her friends, work colleagues. Took time to get to know her over the internet. So the second one is probably the most famous, I guess, if you want to call it, or infamous in the Philippines, which is the taxi scam. So again, I've done a video on this, so you might want to check that video out there, which I gave my view on what happened with the Haley Dasovich taxi scam. Basically, there's different ways they can scam you. One is they won't turn the meter on, or so they'll try and set an agreed price, which is way above what you'd normally pay. You might normally pay 200 pesos for a particular ride from point A to point B, and they'll be trying to charge you 600, 800, 1,000 pesos, or maybe even 2,000 pesos. So always get a taxi with a meter on, otherwise don't hop in. Never put your bags in the taxi before you've come to an agreement with them, because they could just drive off with your bags, which is another scam that they sometimes do. They might take you to an area where it's out of town, a little bit away from people, and they might demand more money, or they'll drive off with your bags. And the other way they can do it is they can have a rigged meter. So the meter will be ticking over and you think it's normal, but it's actually going very, very quick. So I think Philippines Oz Fun with JLB, he recently did a little video on that where he found that he was in a taxi where it was actually ticking over quite quickly, and he was charged probably 4 times the amount that he should have been charged. So they're all things to look out for when you're in the Philippines. Obviously, as I say, be careful, be aware. Ask for the meter to be turned on. If they say no, go to another taxi. If you find yourself you're in a taxi where the meter is ticking up very quickly, point it out to the taxi driver, and if he doesn't sort it out, then I would just stop the taxi, say, okay, I want to get out here, this will do me, thanks, and I'd find another taxi. That's just me. Some people don't want that drama, don't want that hassle, and they'll just pay, and that's what the taxi drivers are relying on, that you'll just pay them. So the next scam I've got is the bar girl scam. A lot of single guys, they'll go look into the bars, and these girls will approach them and they'll be very friendly to them. They might even buy you some drinks, to get your trust up. Then 2 girls usually will say, come on, come home with me, and they'll take you home, and from there one will distract you, be nice and cute with you and all that sort of thing, and the other one will be going through your back pockets looking for your wallet, your money, and anything to take that and get out of there. Be very aware of the bar girl scam. It's not always what it seems. The girls might be very cute, very beautiful, and you might be flattered by that attention, but be very careful what is actually taking place. Again, be aware and use your brain. Then we've got the motorbike scam. So that's one where you go to get a motorbike and to drive around and all that sort of stuff, and you're having a great old time, and when you bring it back, you bring the motorbike back, and all of a sudden they're saying to you, oh, there's this damage on here, this is damaged, that's damaged, and you say, well, I haven't damaged any of that. That was like that before I went. But what proof do you have? So they're going to say to you, you have to give me 5,000 pesos. I'll have to get this fixed. So otherwise, I'm going to call the police. This is what they're telling you. And you're a tourist in that country. You don't want problems with the police. You might be scared. You might not know what could happen. We all know about the Filipino jails over there, and they're not a great place to be stuck in, and it can take some time to get out of there. So these things go through your mind as a tourist, especially if you're a new tourist. So you've got to be very, very careful. So what the best thing to do always is, before you take the bike, you take pictures of it. So this is the pictures I'm taking, which show the condition of the bike prior to leaving. So any damage that's already on the bike, take pictures of that, and take lots of pictures to cover all your bases. So if they try that scam on, you can say, here's the pictures, there's nothing wrong with it, I've done no damage to it, and if they do call the police, you can show that as evidence to the police. So the next one is helping a stranger scam, where a stranger will come up to you, usually a pretty young Filipina, and she'll say, oh, I'm lost, or I need help to get here, or some excuse to lure you away from a lot of people. And she'll often then, and you'll feel sorry for her, and you'll say, yeah, sure, I'll help you, because that's, you're kind-hearted, natured, whatever. And she'll lure you away to an area where all of a sudden you'll find 3 or 4 big blokes waiting for you. And they'll rob you. They'll either ask you for your money and valuables, or they'll just beat you up and rob you. And so that's, again, another situation. Use your brain. Never allow yourself to be drawn away from an area that you know into an area you don't know, even if it's to help people. Look, if she needs help, you say, well, what you could do is give her 50, 100 pesos and say, here, get her a jeepney to wherever you're going, wherever you need to go to, but I can't come with you. You've got to look out for yourself. You've got to be smart. You've got to look out for yourself. And another one is the horse and buggy scam. So there's a lot of horse and buggies that go around the Philippines. I know there's quite a few in Manila, and sometimes the drivers, now this is not every time, so don't get me wrong, it's not every single time, but sometimes they've got some pretty good scams running there, where the horse and buggy driver will take you, to a secluded sort of area, and all of a sudden you've agreed on 300 pesos, for example, for the horse and buggy ride, and he's now asking 1,500 pesos, and you're like, well, hang on, we've agreed, but you're in an area where you don't know, there's no one around, and you might start to get a bit scared. So what are you going to do? It can be very intimidating. Or you could get there and there could be a few big blokes walking over towards the horse and buggy while this guy's asking for the extra money. What are you going to do? You can't take on 3 or 4 big blokes. So, that's another scam to be watching out for. And my advice would be, just stay clear of the horse and buggies over there in the Philippines as a general rule. So the next one is what they call the family scam, where you might be approached by a young Filipina, and she might be talking to you, and you might get a bit flattered by the attention, and she's building your trust up, and you say you trust her, and she says, look, I'd really like you to meet my family. So you trot off with her, you're meeting her family, and you think, oh yeah, they're really nice people, they're looking out for me, they're telling me about the different scams so I don't get scammed, and they're building trust. And once they build the trust in you, then they say, look, we've got a party out of town here tonight. How about you come along to the party and we can have a great time. And you might think, oh, well, these people are really good. Yeah, I've got nothing to worry about. So off you go. You go to that party. Then all of a sudden you're at the party, they might slip something in your drink, or just plain rob you. Take all your goods and valuables and everything and rob you. And these are things you've got to watch out for. And again, don't get drawn away from an area just because you think something's good, Be very careful, especially if you're travelling on your own. And of course, we all know about pickpockets. There's a lot, pickpockets is a big thing in the Philippines. So don't be silly enough to carry your money the same way you carry it in your country. Like in my country, have a wallet, goes in your back pocket, and away you go. And most times, 99.9% of the times you have no problems. But when you're in the Philippines, there are people looking for easy targets. And for those people, they're very skilled at getting a wallet out of the back pocket very, very easy. Use something like a money belt that goes under your clothes, around your waist, under your clothes. Use something like that hides the money. Don't go flashing your money around. You might put, a couple, 2, 3, 4,000 pesos in your pocket, in your front pocket. If that managed to get lost, it's not a big deal. It's not a great amount of money. But be smart about it. Don't go flashing all your money around, because that's going to draw attention to you. Keep it hidden away and not in your back pockets. And the last one I've got is the dating sites. Now, there are some good dating sites out there, but with dating sites come the opportunity for scammers. And some of those dating sites, there are many Filipinas there who are looking to make money out of Westerners. Let's face it, it's a business. It's a business. So be very careful on some of those dating sites, or most of those dating sites, I would say. I hear a lot of stories about many dating sites where they're always asking for money. Well, they might not even ask for money directly. They might say, oh, make a story up, my mother's sick, my brother needs an emergency operation, I need tutoring fees. Where I lived, there was a natural disaster of some sort, and it ripped the roof off my home, and I really need to get it fixed, otherwise we're all going to be very sick living there. Whatever. There's lots of stories. So they might not necessarily come straight out and say, give me money, but they'll make stories up, and they gravitate to some of those sites. Now, one of the better sites that I've found is the Christian Filipina. Now, I'm not saying that is 100% foolproof, but the quality of the women there they've been largely screened to a degree, and there's far less scammers there I've found than anywhere else. So, and the stories I hear from other people verify that. I've heard some great stories from Christian Filipina, from people who have gone there and found a lovely Filipino that they're in a relationship with. So be very careful. I would suggest, if you're going to start on the online dating sites, start with Christian Filipina. Have a look at them. I'll put a link down below and check them out. I think it's free to have a look. So go have a browse around and see how you go from there. But still, very careful. Use your brain. Don't give money to people straight up, and get to know them and meet them face to face if you think the relationship is going to go somewhere. So 10 scams there, which is my list on the scams to be aware of in the Philippines. I hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to like the video, share it around, hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on for more videos. Thanks very much guys. Take care. Bye for now.